destiny.
Welcome, apprentices and acolytes, to the first Kenobi deep dive of Lord Dagovere so you can unlock the knowledge. Fam, I loved these two episodes. They were so freaking good, and it's about time we finally have some Kenobi to watch and enjoy. This is going to be somewhat of a review, and of course, I'm going to tell you all the Easter eggs and things that you should know so you can be up to par and brag to all your friends about Star Wars knowledge that you've acquired. Kenobi Episode 1 starts out with Order 66, and we have seen so many flashbacks through video games, books, and of course, The Mandalorian as well. But this one seems to be one of the most important flashbacks we've gotten in a long time. This character, Reva, I feel like has some compelling history that has some destiny tied into Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. I think that's actually why they're showing you this scene. There's a couple characters, I believe, that have some importance, these younglings here, and I believe Reva is one of them. Now, connected to Reva and of course the second opening scene of the Kenobi series, these are the Inquisitors. These are the baddest dudes and girls in the universe. What's crazy about the Inquisitors is they essentially are created to hunt down Jedi. But what's so unique about them is that majority of them were actually former Jedi. Yes, most of them either died or just gave in to the dark side because they did not want to be killed, and the next alternative was to become an Inquisitor. The leader in the front with the white and red tattoos is the Grand Inquisitor. This is their highest rank. You have the second sister, the third sister, which is Reva, the fourth sister, the fifth brother, the sixth brother, the seventh sister, the eighth brother, the ninth sister, the 10th brother, and there's a few others that are unidentified and have no name as of right now. Most of them have been introduced from the comics, a few of them from the video games, but the most notorious ones are the Grand Inquisitor, the 8th brother, the 7th sister, and the 5th brother. Those are all in Star Wars Rebels. I'm very curious how this is going to go, because of course, as we saw in episode 2, the Grand Inquisitor gets stabbed, and that's not how he's supposed to die. He dies in Star Wars Rebels, and I'm very curious to see whether or not they're just going to replace or give us a new Grand Inquisitor that is the exact same race. Very curious, so many questions, but I actually believe that he's not dead. We've seen in Boba Fett how they revive people with mods, and of course there's been other ways that characters have come back in Star Wars. So, Grand Inquisitor fans, don't worry fam, I think your boy is fine, he just has a tummy ache. So let's get to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Here he is doing his thing at this meat parlor. I don't know if they're just like harvesting some crazy crate dragon or something else, but it's so sad to see one of the most, honestly, one of the poster boys and the heroes of the Republic just become so broken. And that's what I love about this, because this has so much tribute to the Kenobi book from Legends from years ago. In that book, Kenobi is completely broken. He is still suffering from the loss of his best friend and brother, Anakin Skywalker. That's why you see him in this cave. He is broken. He is sad. Shoot, I don't even know if he's even touched the Force in a long time. And I love that callback because he's sitting there remembering everything. He has PTSD and it's a serious problem. And he's also calling out to Qui-Gon because he does have regret. He feels like he failed because he couldn't save Anakin and of course live up to the expectations of his former master Qui-Gon Jinn. Now, a little side note here, the EOP that you see here is actually the same EOP that we see in Revenge of the Sith. And what's crazy from the actual book is that it's supposed to be pregnant. I'm not sure if it's male or female, but hey, this is one of the things that I nerd out about because I love seeing that. I just love seeing this stuff. It's from the book, you know, I get really nerded about it. I just had to tell you all, okay? Later, you see Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he's peering off at the Skywalker Ranch. That little kid there, that is Luke Skywalker, and of course, that is Uncle Owen. This, of course, is the reason why he's on Tatooine. He's supposed to be guarding this farm, guarding the Chosen One, the new hope, essentially, of Luke Skywalker. And later on, you see him drop off this skyhopper. This is one of the most important scenes because this has an because this leads directly to A New Hope. Luke Skywalker actually plays with this same model of the Star Hopper. Oh fam, and then we finally get to see Alderaan before it's blown up. And it's so sad here because yes, majority of the people that you see here, they all die from the Death Star. This planet is actually one of the worst losses to the entire galaxy of Star Wars. You know, they were lead philosophers, architecture, artists. It was such a beautiful planet. Now, a couple scenes later, as we're still on Alderaan, there is a party going on. And if you can see all the way in the back, you can see C-3PO. You see his silver leg. He's right there. Oh my goodness, I freaked the heck out. I was so happy to see him. I'm so glad they brought him here. That is pretty sick. So finally we get back on Tatooine. Right before Bail Organa shows up in Obi-Wan Kenobi's cave, you see this little like Nintendo Switch or 3DS type of thing. Now this is really cool because Anakin Skywalker actually used this same portable device when he was on Coruscant in Revenge of the Sith. It's so cool, man. I was flipping out because it looks exactly like it, and yeah, man, I just love it. I love all the details here. Oh, I love seeing the Revenge of the Sith stuff. Way to go. Now, this character, Bail Organa, he's actually super important because he's one of the main senators that was actually really loyal to the Republic, wasn't corrupted at all, but was a huge friend of Padme and Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker, really helped them during the Clone Wars. And this actor is reprising his role again. You see him in Rogue One, you see him in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. So it's so good to finally see this character, Bail Organa, come back and play his own role before he ends up dying on Alderaan because of the Death Star. If there was anyone that was going to get Obi-Wan Kenobi off of Tatooine, it was going to be Bail Organa. On episode 2 is really crazy, and there's so many things that I want to show you. The first thing that I noticed when he's on Dio is, you hear this familiar voice, and of course everybody knows this familiar voice because it's Tamora Morrison. It's Boba Fett, the actor for Boba Fett. And what's so cool about him is he also played every single clone from the prequel trilogy, and this is an old clone. Look at them. It's so cool about this one too because he has this like blue and white chest plate armor, which is very reminiscent of course the 501st. This is the specific legion that actually stormed the Jedi Temple with Anakin Skywalker and is responsible for the massacre with all the younglings and the Jedi. The Republic formed into the Empire as you know it, and then of course they started enlisting stormtroopers, people, humans, no longer clones. Some of the clones were lucky enough to continue service, but a lot of them died and revolted, and then they were just kind of useless after that, and that's why you see this poor clone here literally homeless. And it's so sad to see, fam, because at the end of the day, they too were also used for Palpatine and his grand scheme of Order 66. So in this episode, you actually get to see more of a scuffle between the Inquisitors. The Inquisitors don't like each other. There is no loyalty between them and their gang. Honestly, they are really there for survival. That's all that they're doing, and ultimately to please Vader and the Emperor. And Reva here is by far one of the most like rebellious Inquisitors I've ever seen. I'm not sure what her motivation is, but she has some type of agenda. I don't know if it's a certain liking that she has to please Lord Vader, or maybe it's just vengeance, as if Obi-Wan Kenobi is responsible for her being here in this predicament. But it's very curious here now, because Reva has been able to figure out something that literally almost no one in the entire galaxy ever figured out, and that was the identity of Darth Vader. I mean, even Tarkin had to find out on his own. Thrawn himself was smart enough to understand who that was, but anyone that became known of this secret, Darth Vader killed them himself. So I'm so curious to see what's going on here. I know a lot of fans are probably panicking, but we're only 2 episodes in. I'm very curious to see how this goes, and yeah, lots of questions. It's crazy. So we finally get to the point where Obi-Wan Kenobi is forced to tap into the Force again. And now this is huge because you can see obviously how rusted he is. It has been so many years, 10 plus years, and this man is fighting for his life like he's never fought ever. And he's using those so uncivilized tactics with no lightsaber. He doesn't want to use it, but then of course Leia falls and he's forced to help her survive by levitating her off the ground. Now, this is very dangerous, and I want you to understand how dangerous this is. After Order 66, the entire galaxy turned to darkness. Now, when a Jedi, a light-sided Force user, taps into this new Imperial controlled galaxy, a dark controlled galaxy, characters like Darth Vader and the Emperor are going to feel that shimmer in the Force. It's like a ripple effect. And there is a book called Thrawn Alliances where the Emperor is literally sitting in his throne and he senses something all the way across the galaxy into the furthest uncharted space. And this action was a child, a Force-sensitive child, moving something, opening a door, a very small movement, and the Emperor was able to detect that. So this is basically Obi-Wan Kenobi revealing himself that he's alive. This is a tragedy for him. He is supposed to be secret. He is supposed to be safe on Tatooine guarding Luke Skywalker. And now this is the issue. This is the trouble. This is great danger that he's in, because not only is he compromising himself, but he is compromising the Chosen One and the new hope of Leia Organa and Luke Skywalker. Now, during this bout, I get to see Forlom. He's a bounty hunter. He's pretty cool. A lot of people may not see him and understand that he's like one of the most important bounty hunters like ever that was featured in Empire Strikes Back. But yeah, Forlom here. He's cool. Let's go. Now, the last thing I want to talk about here is how crazy this entire scene is between Reva, the Grand Inquisitor, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Not only does she stab the Grand Inquisitor, which is kind of like lore-breaking, but I don't think that he is dead, of course. But the bomb drop, and the bomb drop is informing Obi-Wan Kenobi that Anakin Skywalker is still alive. That is a huge secret. That's incredible. And again, I don't know how she found out this secret. I don't know what that is. It's just crazy. I'm so very curious to see what happens, because it goes back to that beginning of the scene with Order 66. There's a lot of questions, and I'm sure there's going to be so many theories. But yeah, Reva is definitely someone that the audience is going to be polarized by. A lot of people are going to love her. A lot of people are going to hate her. I think she's very interesting. I can't wait to see what her relationship is and why she harbors so much hate for Obi-Wan Kenobi and not Anakin Skywalker, because I feel like Anakin Skywalker would be the reason why she's in this predicament. We've seen what happens to Padawans and of course Jedi in Order 66 from Jedi Fallen Order, how some of them are not actually killed. They are taken in as prisoner and then tortured to death until they finally turn. Is that Anakin's fault? Is that Obi-Wan Kenobi's fault? Yeah, so many things. But let me know what you thought about it, fam. I can't wait to see your reactions, and I can't wait to see your comments. Please let me know. I'll see you around for episode 3. Thank you so much, and make sure you subscribe. Deuces, fam.